Howdy folks, and welcome back for another reloading video here out on the Dillon 550. It's approximately 5 degrees outside. We just got some snow and the whole dang country shut down for about a day or so, but it's actually maybe 50 or so out here in the garage, but we're just cranking out some 9mm here. And today we are back on with the Brazos 115 grain round nose right here. A little bit of a bevel base action. We are pairing those up with the Fiocchi small pistol primers. I've been really enjoying these lately. Gone through several thousand and absolutely zero complaints, zero failures. Nothing wrong here with the Fiocchis. If you can find them, go ahead and grab some. And we are still running some Winchester 244. I've picked up a few pounds a few years back, and I'm still running it on just about everything I can, and I can't run out of it. It's very efficient, economical, clean burning. It's a ball powder, so it runs really well on a progressive. I can't complain at all about it, and it gives some really good velocities on the chronograph, and it's very versatile across several cartridges that I shoot. So all good stuff about the Winchester 244 if you're looking for a nice pistol powder. We're just running some mixed range brass. It was wet tumbled when it came out of the mud, and then I sized and swaged that, and then I dry tumbled that in some corn cob and polish media to finish it off. So I think that just about covers everything. We've got our Lee dies set up here, carbide sizing die. Then you hit the Dillon powder funnel through die. And then we have the Lee seating and crimp combo. However, I have it backed out, and we are only seating with it on stage 3, and then you move to stage 4. And that's where we've got the carbide factory crimp die from Lee. Several brands make a carbide crimp die. There's a Redding, and I'm pretty sure Lyman does one. RCBS might for their pistol things as well. But what that does is smooths out the entire length of the case rather than only crimp up the top. So if sometimes you end up with something that might be a little off center or crooked just a bit, that whole crimp die goes around the side of the body and smooths everything out, and it'll pretty much straighten that back out, or totally distort your cast bullets and totally ruin your accuracy, depending on how big they are. But these are 356, absolutely no issues here with me and that die through, again, several thousand rounds. But we are near the end here. I've got probably 50 plus to go, but that only takes a minute here. And the goal is, if you've been following this little loading series I've done with a bunch of different projectiles, I want to actually shoot for some groups, set up a table and a proper rest and actually try and shoot some groups rather than just offhanded blasting at the steel targets. I would like to compare some different factory cast bullet options from some different manufacturers that were kind enough to send in some samples to the channel here. So we got a bunch of 9mm to play with, as you can see, and we've got a couple that we're going to be running in the 38 Special and 357 Magnum. I might even chuck some of those up into the some 35 Remington cases with some Trail Boss just for the hell of it. Sounds like fun to me. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know what else I'm saving my Trail Boss for. I'm not exactly a cowboy action shooter, but I've got a whole bunch of different pistol powders and, several options for those reduced loads to where I shouldn't be having to be stingy about my half bottle of Trail Boss I've been trying to store away for whatever reason. It's just the inner hoarder in me. Oh, I don't want to run out of that, so I'm going to save that last third or half of a bottle until I get 4 more or something. But joke's on me, because Trail Boss is very, very unlikely to be produced this calendar year, which is 2024 now. And they said that in 2023, yeah, we're not going to be making this stuff for a while. And they said it again. So not only are costs going up again for every single powder, they're also lessening their array of powders. So you're still going to see your Varget and your Tight Group, your CFE 223 and Pistol and CFE Black and all the very popular ones, but the more exotic or harder to produce ones, the slower magnum burning ones, I'm pretty sure all of those, they're on the same manufacturing lines as like military mortar propellants and really big stuff like that. And if you weren't paying attention, there's a couple conflicts going on, and you know, those powder companies have contracts to fulfill to different governments, which leaves our little hobby in the background, far, far away from anything they give a crap about, because they know that they can sell it to, say, Vista Outdoors. And, well, hell, Vista Outdoors owns Alliant Powder, and they're the ones that feed CCI ammunition, Spear ammunition, Federal, Remington, everything under the Vista umbrella gets Alliant powders. So then the very little remaining amount of Alliant powder left over, that's what gets sent out to reloaders. And that's how we end up with $63 pounds of AR comp, because they haven't released it in the last 3 years. They go, oh, look how rare it is. No, you've just been using it in your own factory loadings, so you can cause artificial scarcity. And then when you release it once in a blue moon, you can say, hey, it's been a while since you've seen that. Don't you want a whole bunch of that? So then you see AR Comp and Reloader 15 and Reloader 26 and 22 and whatever, all of them. They're $450 for an 8-pound jug. That hurts my brain, fellers. Even Vitavori, the 500 series Vitavori powders, they're not even close to $400. They're like $350. An 8-pounder of like N140, it's like $280. Varget, not $300. Why in the hell would you spend upwards of $450 to $500 from the retailer? That's their price. That's not even marked up on Gunbroker or in a local shop where they say, yeah, we saved you on the hazmat fee. Look at, you're going to be looking at 5 bills for that some gun there. And that's insane, failers. I don't even know how I got off on that rant. Anyways, I have a lot of different powders to try out before I worry about Trail Boss running out. That's what it was. Yeah, Trail Boss. I'm going to use some dang Trail Boss and some 35 Remington and some 45 Colt and just use it up, because who cares? If it comes back in stock, and if not, then it doesn't. But I'm not gonna lie, I need the space to collect more of the powders that are in production, just in case for some reason things stop being produced, or things get limited, or shit, I don't know. But don't worry, fire marshals, I'm within my legal limit. That's why I have to thin out the herd and use up the Trail Boss. So we're still running smooth as heck here on the old Dillon 550 Charlie here. I've actually never properly done any maintenance on this. I just kind of air gun, blow it off when I'm done. I've used some dry lube on some of the parts, and I kind of lubed up the ram with some Ballistol or whatever cleaning solution I had out. But I've never properly hit these grease Zerk fittings or any of that. So I could be due for that. I think the manual says every 2 or maybe 5,000 repetitions. So I'm overdue. Definitely overdue for that. So I should probably grab some of that next time I'm at the hardware store and properly maintain my Dillon here so it can treat me nicely. You know, treat your gear nice and it'll treat you nice. But anyways, we're just jamming away here with some of the Brazos 115 grainers. So thanks for hanging out, folks. Really do appreciate you chilling with me. Hope you guys are knocking out your loading projects for the winter. Get you ready to go for next season. Get you ready for some range time. Someone was commenting about the temperature stability of 244, so I went to test that the other day, and I didn't get it to fail down to 20 degrees. So, I don't know. Have you guys had any temperature stability issues with pistol powders not igniting? Maybe 20 degrees isn't cold enough, but I didn't have any issues here the other day. I should have tried again today when it was about 5 degrees, but you know, can't do them all. So as of now, my current findings on the temperature stability of Winchester 244 in the 9mm cartridge are very stable, it seems. Yes, very stable, it seems. So, I don't know. Still good stuff. Very well powdering, very well metering, very nice, economical, a fairly small charge weight powder, maybe mid-range. Like right now I'm at right about 4.5 grains, 4.4 actually, but that's my data, not yours. Don't use it. That's just what I'm using that I found that works for me, and I'm not recommending it all, so don't do it on your own without your own testing. But compared to like silhouette powder or long shot where you're going to use almost 6 grains, this is a fairly economic powder, so I'm enjoying it. And here's our very last one, fellers. Thanks again for hanging out. Appreciate your time, and we'll see you on the range soon when we get to test some of these. So, have a good one.